I welcome everyone to this sober but momentous event. It is only proper that we continue to recognize and pay tribute to two extraordinary gentlemen who inspired us in their lives and left us severely diminished by their deaths. It is their passing which has necessitated these proceedings. We lost Honorable Justice Nasir Ajana, the former Chief Judge of Kogi State, and Honorable Justice Ibrahim Shaibu Atadoga, the former President of the Kogi State Customary Court of Appeal, within 1 week of each other. The shock has been profound, but for this state, for those left to mourn them. Justice Nasir Ajana was the longest serving Chief Judge in the history of Kogi State. He served during the tenures of 3 governors. He was a brilliant legal mind distinguished by a massive wealth of experience. He piloted the Kogi State judiciary with firm hand and defended the independence of judiciary and doctrine of separation of powers as he saw fit, irrespective of any differences of opinion. Justice Shaibu Atadoga was on his part a workaholic judge who set stellar standards of excellence in the practice of his profession. He inspired reforms, including amendments to the enabling law which greatly expanded the rules of customary courts. It is no wonder that he was effective and so effective as President of Kogi State Customary Court of Appeal. I have given serious thought to the lives of those revered legal minds, asking myself, what should be the greatest lessons the living can learn from them? The 2 questions immediately come to mind, which also summarizes my tribute to them. Chuck Palahniuk, an American author, said, and I quote, "We all die. The goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will." End of quote. Ernest Hemingway, another American author, wrote, and I quote, "Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another." End of quote. In tribute, I am proud to say that the late Justice Ajana and late Justice Atagoda both teach us that selfless service to society is how to become immortal in the hearts of your fellow men. They achieved a legacy that will long outlive them. May the good works of their lordship speak for them in eternity, and may their gentle souls continue to rest in peace. A short while ago, we sworn in replacements to fill the vacuum which their lordship's exit has created in the fabric of governance in our state. Kogi State is indeed fortunate to have found worthy successors in the person of the 2 lords to whom we have entrusted the high offices and responsibilities of previous occupants. I am empowered by Section 271, subsection 4 and 5 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, to appoint the most senior judge in our judiciary as the Chief Judge of Kogi State if the office becomes vacant for any reason, including death. I exercised that power on the 3rd day of July 2020 to appoint the Honorable Justice H.A. Olusi as Chief Judge, Acting Chief Judge of Kogi State. We have now sworn him in. Similarly, Sections 281, subsection 4 and 5 of the Constitution grant me the powers, and I have exercised them via letter dated the same 3rd day of July 2020 to appoint the Honorable Justice Bello into office of the President of the Kogi State Customary Court of Appeal upon a vacancy occurring by death of his predecessor. My Lord is also the most senior judge of the court, and he too was sworn in a while ago. It now remains to enjoin the head of the Kogi State Judiciary and the President of the Customary Court of Kogi State, both of whom we have just sworn in, to bring their considerable history and experienced jurists to bear in the administration of justice in this state. We have no doubt that they will provide excellent leadership for our judiciary and the state in general. We therefore charge them to execute all the functions of their respective offices with erudition and the fear of Almighty God. Once again, I congratulate your lordships. Let me conclude by reiterating something I have said over and over again. Since the COVID-19 situation was thrust upon the world, including Nigeria, nothing is altogether new under the sun. Whether the coronavirus or COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 is natural or artificial, whether it came out of China or elsewhere, and whether by happenstance or hostile action, we need an evolving synergy between science and common sense, medicine and governance to beat this monster. This is the only way the citizens can find peace between the actual and the stated causes of death in a great number of cases as so reported. To God be the glory. Thank you and God bless.